Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our Wednesday afternoon training call, webinar, uh, help, questions and answers, anything you want to call it. We're actually everything, all of the above, tips and tricks and everything else. And it is June 25th, the last Wednesday of the month, moving right along. We're already past the longest day of the year, and they're starting to get shorter. So you guys are going to have to start working faster now before the sun goes down. Okay. And to get started, we're actually going to, from what it looks like, we're going to continue a little bit from what I did last week in reference to Keystone. And Raymond is going to be presenting Keystone and using ad platforms, which sounds very interesting. I'm anxious to hear what he has to say. So, Raymond, please take it away.
Thank you, Tom, and thanks everybody for coming.
And thank you for being here. I can't hear you, Ray.
No, I'm just moving things around. That's
Oh,
all. There
okay.
we go.
Thought we lost your audio.
Wait a minute here.
That looks interesting.
I'm going to stop share. All right, my computer froze. Let me see what I could do here.
Make sure, folks, when you're on any Zoom to turn everything else you have going off, WhatsApp or any other software, any other browsers, anything that's going to take up juice away from Zoom. Because that's what happens sometimes. And you also sometimes get notice of low internet connection.
All right, Keystone and using ad platforms. Last Wednesday's meeting, Tom explained the word Keystone and basically try to get everybody to think of our Keystone video. All right, and basically, the way I looked at it was asked all of us to think about the Keystone video. And the question is, did anybody revisit the video? Did anybody find a quiet spot? Anybody get different ideas on way to come to mind to explain to student leads? All right, I haven't, but I will, because there's a lot of times where people just do not want to look at that video and they do not want to come back. And so I will send it to them. But before I do, I will explain, part of the video and what's the purpose of it. So they have an idea of what to look for. And then hopefully I can go back and, talk to them. So today I'm continuing with that theme. And on Friday's meeting, again, I'm doing the same thing, but in a different direction. And so all are invited, but basically this is a plug for my instructor, Lori. All right, get people to her meetings. And before anyone asks, no, I'm not sharing any slides. Please use the video Tom records for the purpose of reviewing. All right, my interpretation of the Keystone video is very simple. Fundamental principles of the video is to introduce the concept link post blogging. And then to introduce the method of how the concept is delivered, which is by the performance blogging system. we all refer to the term as PBS. All right, does anybody remember the quote from the movie Field of Dreams? I believe it came out in the late 90s or late 80s.
Yeah.
And that
Build it and
quote
there will
was,
come.
yeah, it was, if you build it, he will come.
Huh.
All right, and as time goes on, of course, many people misquote it, and it became, if you build it, they will come. And I guess that's a pop culture thing. I don't know. Younger people got to stay out of older people's way. But my point is, the quote is not true about our PBS, meaning that when we build it, meaning our PBS, no one will come. All right, we need to market our PBS to draw traffic. Now, today I'm just going to talk about ad platforms as a way of marketing. Of course, there are several other methods. All right, as you build the pages, so in the PBS pages, your instructor will let you know when it's time to market, meaning place ads for the pages. All right. Your instructor knows best. Hopefully, as Donna always says, communicate with them a couple times a week so they know where you are and what you're doing and how you might need help. All right. And of course, if you're here and you're a seasoned PBS person, then the best I could hope for is that you walk away with some new ideas. And I always like to think of Tom when he does some of these meetings that he has.
And the Iranians, and the White House is beside themselves because they put together a huge operation. And if you want to talk about what happens next, let's debate. If you want to talk about the decision to go in, let's debate it. But now
Can
you're
everyone
saying,
mute out,
the biggest non-nuclear bombs in the world.
Rebecca?
Them,
All right, thank you. So like I say, I hope you can walk away with some new ideas. But I think the purpose of one of the things Tom has, he wants to present things and he wants you to think. He wants you to think of, hey, I got a new idea, or that sounds good. I never tried that before. All right. Rather than just, let's just copy and paste a file or a screen never to be found again. All right. So the whole idea, and I think anybody wants to give people ideas on what they can do. All right. Now, the next thing is keep in mind the following is how I progressed and how I post ads. It certainly isn't the way I started and the way I was taught, but as time goes on, I see how I need to work and I make my changes. All right, so what is needed to start placing ads? Of course, you need links to your PBS pages. All right, need an email address, title and description, ad platform. All right, there might be a couple things inside the forms where you just might have to put a code in or whatever, but they're there. It's not something you have to gather up. And if you use a spreadsheet, need to bring that up. Additional features that I use is Power Toys. That's a Microsoft free program, and there's the link. So if you go into the video, you can actually copy that link from there. And of course, you got Easy Filler is another tool I use. All right, and that is a Chrome extension. All right, and of course, as you see the link, or you go into the Play Store for Chrome. All right, so why market our PBS? Traffic, 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 and more traffic. And one of the tips that I'd like to give, because I've seen many people place ads and doing things, and a lot of them will pick the United States, post to all states, and I don't understand it. I just hope they don't think that their ad is going, that makes 50 ads because they selected 50, all the states. But, certainly that is not the case. But you have to post to each location individually. And by posting your ad to each state and each city, if it allows you to, on the different platforms, it gives you more ad exposure and local search results. All right, many of the classified sites that I use lets me reuse the same ad, and all I need to do is change the location each time. All right, and of course, this multiplies your visibility and helps reach more people looking for opportunities near them. All right, I'm going to be going over the Easy Filler, and you'll see when I'm showing you how I do my ads. But this is a site, of course, that's my site, and that's the page where I actually have a video and an understanding of what I'm doing. All right, one of the things is I generally place, I can pick any site and probably place 200 plus ads an hour. All right, which means, I might do an hour in the morning, but during the afternoon, a couple times where I just want to take a break from, maybe working outside or something, I come in and I like to have it very easy to pull up my site and start placing ads. So if I could spare 15 minutes, I'm easily placing 50 ads. And of course, my goal is 400 to 500 a day. All right. And so I hope you can see this, but here's my cursor down here. And if I bring this up, here's my site. My last state was Missouri. All right.
Can't see it. Can't see it. All we see is your presentation.
All right, so nothing. Well, hopefully you could see this then. All right, so anyway, it's down here. I bring it up. I could start posting immediately.
Yeah, no, I'll always use the presentation, but yeah, that's fine.
All right, do you see this?
Yes, we see that.
All right, so this is how I progressed in the way I place ads. Over here, as you see, I have my ad site. Right there, I got 17 sites that I post to. If I go this way, I got a couple more. And so right now I'm up to 26 sites that I do post to. All right. I also included, which I haven't checked out yet, but here's Dubai. I got 18 sites. Not sure if I use any of these yet, but I will eventually find out. Same thing in India. Got 24 in India, Australia, UK has a couple, and of course, the USA. All right. And the reason why I got these is because I tried to do the research and I found a place that I was able to do just stay on there for free, for a week. And I wanted to see what sites are, how do you rank them? What are the best sites? All right. And this is what they call domain authority. They have 5 or 6 steps that they take a site through. And basically, it's telling you what site gets the most traffic for people for looking at it. And then they rank them 0 to 100. All right. And of course, you got eBay at 94. Of course, everybody knows that. But what gets me is I never use Craigslist. And Craigslist is second, right up on top. And they don't have Craigslist in UK, but even on any one of these, Craigslist is always on top. And, so I'm wondering am I missing out on something here where I should be using Craigslist, at least for maybe posting at PBS and Brain Food Academy. What was interesting to me was classifieds for free, which everybody uses. That's how they start. And they are ranked very low. All right. And that was disappointing. But, clearly, that's what you use. So that's the way we do it. All right. But anyway, so, right here, these are the ads that I went through. All right. Excuse, my mouse is not working correctly. And this is the site that I'm actually working on now. But basically, this is the research I've done. This is where you're seeing that 0 and 1 codes. So these 0 codes have no location. And these are the states that only have to locate in the state itself. These states that all have anything above 1 are the states that you can select different locations, city locations. California's got 26, and I'm going to bring this up to show you. And you can see quite a few of them. Texas has 24, Washington 10. But what I've done, the way I've do my ads, is I take advantage of that. Actually, and here's Bella Vita. I got everything separated. These are products, only products. This is the tune in the states in case I just want to do tune in different states. So I don't go placing ads where it's not going to do me any good because nobody will look at it. All right, so I come in here, like I said, I have it down here, but we're going to, before I start that, I mentioned I use Power Toys as one of my features. And so what I end up doing is, can anybody see this?
Nope.
Nope.
No, I think you shared Chrome and not your display, and that's why we want to see Chrome.
Okay.
I share if you share your desktop, then we can see everything.
Yeah, I thought I did, but I'll move on. But anyway, that's one of the things here is I use Power Toys. And the idea of Power Toys is it allows me to select a single key and multifunction for what it does. So for instance, my F1 key I have set for when I place ads to back browser. And I'll be showing you why I do that. So we see this, I hope.
Yes.
All right. So now we bring this up. I will select USA. From there, I go down to services. I'm going to be doing the Genesis products, go into my cluster page. So here's my hair and beauty. All right, so I'm going to select California. And of course, here's ads that I have placed in the past, but we're going to go to post another ad. All right, the next thing I do have, which I hope comes up, is the Easy Filler. And that, like I said, is a Chrome extension. So I have it pinned up here. And does everybody see what I have here on the right-hand side? Does everybody see that Easy Filler?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, so the way I done it, I had this select. Here's my ad. It's going to be ageless. All right, so I'm going to hit that. And of course, that one click got my title, selected my location, which is other, which is going to go to the entire state of California. All right, here's my description that I wanted. Here's my link that I'm using inside the box. It loads my email, and I always display my email on the site. So the only thing I need to do is load my image. So I choose file. And anytime you choose or change your location, you need to choose your file image that you want. All right, and agree. All right, so this is an ad that I replaced before. So I want to change that. So now let's go show you what I do. All right, so here's my URL. It's the Aegis page. All right, and as you can see, scroll down, it's got all the clustering and things here. So generally what I will do, I either will edit this and then copy the entire page, or I'll just go down and I could also copy this entire page. But for ease of this program, I have already done that. So this is basically what I have. All right, of course, here's my page. See, everything is in there. And here's my verbiage to get my ads that I want. All right, so I go to AI and I say I'm placing ads on this platform. It's one of those platforms that has that 0 and 1 code. Since they're all the same, I just picked one. All right, I need to verify, tell AI where I'm placing these ads, because it could be different for anything. And I say I want 68 word titles with a relevant search keyword, and 160 word description with 2 relevant search keywords. And then I want the same using hooks. All right, anymore, when I do ads and I go to AI to produce them, I ask for hooks. All right, but I found out something as I was bringing up this presentation, which I might switch over to. All right, and I want them to point out the keywords, and I'm saying this is my web page to use, so they know exactly what I'm want to share and what I want to talk about. All right, and of course, since this is a Google Doc, I'll do Control A. I'll do a paste, copy. Now my copy, of course, is my F2 key. I just use the 1 key. Oops. Go to Chat GPT. Let's ask the same thing. So I'm going to post down here and I will paste everything there. I will get rid of this since it's not part of my things that I want. And I let it do its thing.
Okay.
It didn't do what I wanted. All right, so here's the ads that they have. This here is version 1, which is the standard. All right, so there are 7 words. All right, telling me my keyword. Here's my description. All right, here's my version 2. This is the hook. All right, somewhat different. And of course, the description to that. All right, so one of the things I'm going to ask the AI is, find the difference between the two. All right, straightforward, standard title. It's direct, professional, focused on delivering clear information quickly.
Shut up.
There's a certain tone to it, energetic, persuasive. All right, best for scrolling and casual, social mixed categories.
Mm.
All right, and of course, the hook base is emotional engaging. It uses curiosity and visualization. All right, and it's telling you, what type of people will be looking at these, So the thing I done while I was doing this to get those ads that I wanted was, and you combined the two. Or of course, their answer was yes, they can, and they've done it. Defy aging now. All right, so you got straightforward version with emotional appeal. All right, so that looks pretty good to me. And it's telling you you could tailor for different audiences, but I'm going to take this as it is.
Hmm.
So I'm going to copy the title,
Hmm.
and I'm going to copy the description.
Hmm.
All right, so now we're going to go back, bring up my easy thing. All right, so now what I want to do is I have everything listed here, and I'm ready to post this. All right, but since I want to change it, I will go ahead and do that.
Hmm.
I'm bringing up my manager from Clip.
Hmm.
Folks, please, if you're not presenting, please mute out.
All right, so I change the title, I change the description, everything else stays the same. Now with Easy Filler, as you start, what you want to do is you can go to, as I said, I had Ageless One. I can go and update this data, and it will replace the new title and description with the old one. Or I could come back here and say, I might want to see, and I'm going to put this in California. And what I'm going to do is come back a couple of days later, and since I posted twice to California, I'm going to see if is there any difference in how many hits I get. So I'm going to call this Ageless One test. All right, and it comes back here. All right, so now I'm going to post this. Want you to see I got the location is on other, and I post this now. All right, so I'm going to post. As soon as the next page comes up, I do a back page. I come back and I change the location. All right, when something has a scroll bar, I go right to the bottom. And the reason being, when you're using a backspace, it will not scroll down. This location won't scroll down, but it will scroll up. All right, as you can see, everything is there, ready to post again. As you can see how fast you can actually post. All right, between this easy filler and using the backspace and being able to have everything on this page, this basically acts just like classifieds for free. And actually, I could do basically 220 ads an hour with this, which is why I have everything set up so I could just come in very quickly, bring them up, start posting, 15 minutes, get 50 ads done. Okay, you want to stop the share? And anybody have any questions?
Yeah, I have a question on that list of sites that you showed and were numbered, and Craigslist was up there and eBay was number one. What would be the one that we would all use? What do you think would be the best one up there? Because we don't use eBay, we won't, not necessarily use Craigslist, but like our classified for free ads, similar to that, that's higher in number. Do you have an idea of what would be a good one to choose? If we
Yeah,
had
there.
one to choose, what would be,
Well,
your
let
opinion,
me.
the best?
Okay, first of all, on that last page that I posted, all right, is my page from my URL. All right. And that gives an idea of, how I do this with a video. Also, you can read about it, but it also gives it brings up the ad site, similar to one I have, not exactly. All right. And it has all those things on there, USA, Dubai, Australia, UK. All right. And you could download a copy right from the site. All right. So if anybody wants to download it, they can go right to that site and they could download it. All right. But let me show you how I generally will get these sites. All right, this here is state locations. I forget what I called the other one. But basically, you could go to any one of these sites, and this is what I do. All right, this one here was I happened to stumble across it, so I did copy and I did put it in the ones that anybody can download. But basically, you could pick any site.
So on a site similar to that, what you have right there, you can use the same title and body of the ad for all the different states.
Yes, for those 17 platforms, you could use the same. All right. Some of these, I wanted to go to the one that I've seen, but we're just going to go post a free ad. All right, this one here is going to has one location, so it's going to be what I call 0. So we'll just do this. So it fills everything. Choose my file. All right. Also, when you upload these pictures, almost every one of these platforms has something different. This is 100 KB, might be one in there, might be 200 KB. Some of the pictures, pixel-wise, got to be small.
The other night, Rory was talking about the size of pictures, and he was saying that if you have a JPEG, that would be better because it takes up less space. So with ads like this, then I would imagine JPEGs would be the best type of pictures to upload, right?
Yes.
Makes
All right.
sense.
So here. So now I'm on the page. Sometimes over here under home and post free ad, these will come up when you select your platform. But if not, they will be definitely after you post it. All right. So you can, this might take a little bit, but let's just click it and see. All right. So you can take this. Well, I'll pick a couple and go down, do a copy, go back to your state. Just place it somewhere where you could find it. All right. And you paste these. All right. And then all these sites will come up. So you could actually, check to see, do you have any of these sites or any new? And, you can select them. All right. This one here probably had 30. I couldn't go to the bottom, but, they had 30 different sites. All right. And so you could do that with each platform. And of course, I get the same thing when I go over here and I select one of these. I mean, this one here, like for instance, this site, I only could place 5 ads every day. All right. Here's our classified for free. All right. I put the data is not erased. All right. And that was my thought behind me coming up with this is I know what Easy Filler does, and it took me quite a while to come up with this particular one. All right. But when you look at the classified sites, you'd say, well, there's only 2 forms. And I call those forms, one is 0 with no locations. The one with locations, I said 1. When I looked at these, well, that's a different form altogether. So I named that 2. And so you name your page that you're going to market, and you just put a dash, you put the ageless dash 0, 1, 2, 5, 8, whatever you're going to use. And then you could use this form here. Now this form is, it's free up to probably 10 data sets, 10 data sets. All right. And then it cost, I think it was $4.99 for one-time fee for 2 licenses. So you could use this on 2 devices. All right. So that, to answer you, Tom, to answer your question, that's how, I get these sites. I just go down and I pick them off. I still have the first thing I got was when I got here, the list of 300, and I'm sure they're in here. All right. And the same thing, like, you mentioned here, let's see if I could pick something out. And some of these are actually news. All right. I mean, that's a news site. So, and I never tried any of these, but certainly Hoobly is one I use. I use Oodle, and so they're up there. Here's classified ads. That's up there. All right. So if you go down, and and this is, I'm sure there's hundreds of sites, but these are the ones that just happen to pop up. So I just copied them down. All right. Gibo I used.
Yeah, on the classifieds for free, for example, it's a number that has 33 domain authority. Again, what is that referencing?
They have about they have about 5 inputs, and what I asked this site that I was on, can you give me the top sites, for the U.S. All right. And of course, they spit out, 4 or 5 places, and this is how they ranked them. I'm sure there's got to be more that are up on the top, but here again, I'm kind of thinking that these are the sites that also advertise on the particular website I was on.
So you're saying that more likely the people would see your ads on the ones that are closer to the top than on the bottom.
Yes, right. So Craigslist, almost in all these countries, that is the most widely used search. All right, for ads. That's what they're saying. And of course, eBay, in the U.S., that makes sense. But we don't advertise on eBay. I do not advertise on Craigslist. But you know what? I might try it just to see.
Yeah, because a lot of those are for products like cars and houses and things like that.
Yes. And so I haven't gone through them where I can actually, take it off of this list and throw it onto my, onto this site here.
Yeah.
And again, once I do that, and if it's not the same format, which is 0 and 1, all right, and then I got to create another, code. But, I guess it's worth it. One of the things, as I was doing this yesterday, I placed ads, and I don't know why I was doing it, but it ended up being in Germany, all right, which was disappointing because we don't, our ads don't show as far as Google, all right, but I had 100 hits to my website just for one ad. I was just playing around with it. All right. When I checked this morning, and that was on Monday, I'd done that. And I checked this morning, and I thought, man, where in the heck was this? And it was in Germany. And of course, you don't get nothing for Germany. But I had 100 people come to this. 88 people it was come to the site. So I mean, you play around with it. It takes time, but this is the end result. Like I say, I'm not sure if I could bring this up, but let me see.
So now we have the opportunity to use some tools in our ads, tools to find the best places to advertise and to the right target to help us. We got that, and we got chat to help us with the ads, GPT.
Yeah, let me see if I could move this over. All right, on that website I mentioned, this is post site. So this is what I have listed when I created this. All right. And once again, I added the US, the US, so you get the same thing. So you get these and just codes for websites. All right. So I started out with, 5 or 6 and only up to here. So since then I found 4 more sites that I never used that is worth using for me. All right. Might not be for some people, but for me, you could use it. And of course, like I say, you go to any one of these sites, you can make a copy paste of all the sister sites that they have. And, they might be different from here, but, they all work and they all fall under the 0 and 1. And you can paste, your ads that you have for that particular code, anywhere you want. So I basically go down the line, I do my 17 sites. All right. If I'm doing 400 or 500, basically that's, two of those platforms. If you just do the states, you're talking 385. If you're doing states plus UK, which they might have included, you're doing 430 ads. All right. If you're doing everything. All right. So, you're certainly doing at least 1.5 platforms a day, which is why you need a lot of them. And, these up here too, ones that do not fall under this. All right, let me bring this back up.
Okay, does anybody have any questions on this?
That's awesome, Ray. Thank you for sharing that.
Okay, I'm going to stop the recording for this. I want to thank you for all that information. It's great. If you want to put some links in the chat, that would be great too. Would appreciate it. Everybody have a great day. See you next week.